Hello again, everybody. Rick Curl, sports writer for the Greene County Daily World, alongside my boss, the sports editor for the Greene County Daily World, of all places, BJ Hardees. Coming to you almost live from Studio 79 in the bowels of the Greene County Daily World, as we so affectionately like to call it.
Some things never change, man.
Yeah, some things never change. Okay, well, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been here, so we'll just leave that alone and just let it stay at that. Don't want
The world's been a safer place.
It's been a much safer place, and the internet's probably been a lot better off without us. But anyway, so with high school basketball season totally behind us, locally, that is. Well, that's all that matters anyway. It's time to look on now to that little annoying thing they call the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. And I've got to say one thing: dressed like this, my cohort here looks like Fred Garman, male prostitute, off of Saturday Night Live. Played by Dan Aykroyd. Just had to mention that. I couldn't help it. You know, I just couldn't help it to have to coach.
Oh, God.
Either that or the Green Hornet and never mind. Let's move on. Let's go with some.
So what do you think?
That's what I'm saying here. Who do you think? Okay, let's start with the East bracket, where Ohio State's number 1, North Carolina's 2, Syracuse 3, and Kentucky 4. Any upsets?
How about those number 14 trees from
the trees?
No, I don't know. I mean, Syracuse, pretty good club. Obviously, they'll have their hands full, I would think. But you know, everybody always alludes to the infamous 5-12 games, but that's in let's see. Oh, okay, that's going to be UAB and Clemson. Which the playing game is that.
That's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
They get West Virginia against either UAB or Clemson. So, okay, who's going to win the bracket, BJ?
You mean the East?
Yes, the East bracket.
Well, a lot of people believe, you know, that Ohio State is probably the class of that bracket, but Carolina, they've been, they got Nolan Smith, the guard everybody really seems to love, and they've been playing really well. I mean, they got it put on them by Duke pretty good in the ACC final, but still a pretty dangerous club. Everybody, a lot of people like Kentucky, you know, talks about their athletic ability, and obviously Calipari can recruit and coach.
Also known as Andy Idle to his friends.
West Virginia might have the best coach in the tournament in Bob Huggins.
They at least have the most guy who looks like he has the most indigestion anyway. Bob Huggins. He looks like he has. He always looks like he has indigestion. So.
What do you think? I mean, have you got any teams that you stand out?
I'm stuck between Ohio State, North Carolina, and Kentucky myself. I figure Ohio State will probably win the bracket, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Kentucky come out of that number 4 spot.
I can't disagree.
West Regional.
Okay, we'll move to the West.
Duke number 1, San Diego State number 2. Let's see, then it was UConn number 3, sounds like the Big East dance party. And then Texas number 4.
Texas, boy, talk about a Jekyll Hyde team. They were number 1 in the country, and everybody thought they'd be the overall number 1 seed about a month to 6 weeks ago. And they've kind of fallen on hard times, but still 27-7, still well coached, and a lot of athletes. And
let's face it, this is not the most powerful Duke team in history. Krzyzewski doesn't have the strongest team in history, so this could be. I actually think this could be UConn's bracket to win, or possibly even.
I got to root for
even Texas.
San Diego State is the team that I, is it? I'm trying to think. Is that Bill Frieder who's coaching out there? Or,
I don't remember.
What's his name? The guy
I'm usually asleep when their games are on. Much like you.
The guy that was on the Fab 4 show on Sunday, I can't think of his name right now. I'm 32-2. Nice win over BYU to win their tournament championship. And that's a team I'm rooting for. At this point, I mean, so I don't follow a lot of college basketball during the regular season, and then try to catch up during the tournament.
I think I've seen about 20 minutes of one game this year.
I know a lot of people. Let's look at our watch. Okay.
Yeah, we got to hurry.
No, we've got time.
Okay.
We got a 1 gig card, so
you know, Southwest Regional
32K card.
Okay, smart. Okay, Green Hornet, move on.
Are we moving out of the bracket? I just want to say San Diego State.
Right.
If there's a 5-12, the ironic thing, Arizona, Memphis, the coach at Memphis was on their Arizona's 1997 national championship team.
Who was that?
It wasn't a star. It was just a role player, but the guy coaches at Memphis, and that's kind of an interesting twist that he's got to play his former school and all that, and they were talking about that.
Okay.
Southwest. Okay.
This may be the most interesting because it has two Indiana teams in Kansas. Kansas is the number 1 seed, Notre Dame number 2, Purdue number 3, and Louisville number 4.
Well, and you know I look at the bracket. A lot of people thought that Illinois was a border team. Certainly, they've got 13 losses, and everybody thought they were one of the major underachievers in college basketball this year with their talent and coaching. But once you get in, anything can happen, and they could be one of those teams that could make a run. Louisville, everybody just loves them.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I see this bracket going to form up until you get to the regional finals. I see Kansas and Louisville facing off.
Okay.
And I see Notre Dame and Purdue facing off.
Well, personally, you know, the funny thing, I grew up an IU fan. But through the years, I guess I got tired of Bobby's antics, and I'm rooting for the Boilers. I mean, I'll say that I wear IU paraphernalia, but
paraphernalia. Is that a fancy word for junk?
Yeah, you could call it that.
Dress like
I don't use it to smoke with or anything.
Right. Okay. So, just want to make sure. Okay.
So, well, Notre Dame, a lot of people like them. Obviously, Ben Hansbrough, great scorer and shooter, and a lot of people feel if they're shooting the ball well, Notre Dame can go a long way. I would think this. I'm just at a glance, I would think this bracket may be as tough as any.
Could be.
And certainly Kansas at 32-2. I mean, great.
We'll see.
So, take us to the Southeast, Rick.
Well, Pittsburgh's number 1, Florida number 2, BYU number 3, and Wisconsin number 4.
The experts say by far this is the easiest bracket of the 4.
But for who?
Well, the thing of it is, like, a lot of people feel like Wisconsin could get through, but then a lot of people are saying, well, Belmont might even upset them in the 4-13 game. And I also heard some great things about Utah State at 30-3 in that traditional 5-12 matchup with Kansas State. Butler, 23-9, kind of righted the ship, won their conference tournament to get in. They're at an 8 seed. My personal favorite, BYU, Jimmer Fredette. I'm on board. The guy can play. He's going to be an NBA player. That's all there is to it. But without the kid who the ethics code, rules violation, contract, whatever got booted off, that's a tough way to go. Tom Izzo at Michigan State, they're sitting there at 10 seed against UCLA. He's still probably one of the best coaches in America.
Is that the Jet Heathcote look today? Is that what that is?
Well, actually, me and Magic, I called him up, and he said it'd be okay.
Send you a fat burger instead of put on a jacket.
It'd be okay for the show.
Okay.
But everybody, a lot of people say that Florida at the 2 seed. Some people think they may not be as good as some, but at 26-7, they play in a good conference. Who knows? I mean, well, who would be your Final Four, and who would you pick to win it?
The team with the most points at the end of the game on Monday night.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough. I'll accept that.
No. Seriously, I don't. To tell you the truth, until this first round plays out, I really don't know, because like you said, you got a couple of 5-12, 15-2s. We've even got a couple of 15-2s that might be. I'm going to throw some.
I'm going to throw some BS at you.
Okay.
Purdue out of the Southwest.
Okay.
BYU out of the Southeast.
Sure.
San Diego State out of the West.
Right.
And Kentucky out of the East.
I'll give you Kentucky.
Okay. And anyway, the clock's telling us that we can't make predictions any longer.
Oh, okay.
Safe for us.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I will say, don't forget, the Syracuse-Indiana State game is about 9:57 on Friday night on True TV. Check your local listings for the channel
65 Comcast
for the channel numbers. The Notre Dame Akron game is at 1:40 p.m. on TBS. And the Purdue-St. Peter's game is at 7:20 p.m. on TNT.
On Friday night.
On Friday night. And the
Butler plays the game on
Butler and Old Dominion are Thursday at 12:40 p.m. and that's on True TV as well. So make sure everybody knows where to look for this.
Take us home from the bows, baby.
Okay. That's going to do it for this week's show. I'm Rick Curl, sports writer for the Greene County Daily World, along with my partner and boss, B.J. Hargis, sports editor, who's...
So long for now.
Bye.